exhausted. I got like 1 hour of sleep for the past like 36, 40 hours. I will be passing out now. It's too the fuck early for a 19-year-old, but I don't care. I guess this is my official Aruba recap. It is damn near almost a month since I've gotten back, but it's given me a lot of time to process the ins and outs of this excursion, this trip. Just some side information. I did go with 2 girls from work, one of which is a major character, and I'm gonna call her Z. Kind of out of the 2 other girls, the one I was kind of bound to the hip with this entire trip. So we stayed in like an Airbnb kind of situation, so we weren't directly on the water. Day 1, we literally had no excursion planned. We just wanted to do a chill day at the beach. The nearest beach to us was called Palm Beach. All beaches in Aruba are public too. We were able to get downtown Nord. My first splurge of the trip was this Pandora ring. I got coffee, cause hello. Night 1 game plan, get all dolled up, go back downtown to Nord, kind of a later dinner, get drinks at dinner, hit the club, okay? At this dinner place, I immediately see a sushi burrito. What the fuck is a sushi burrito? It was delectable. Although I was slightly confused how to eat it because you normally eat sushi with chopsticks. So I was like, do I use the chopsticks to pick up the entire burrito? Do I pick up my fingers? I think the waitress was staring at me a little bit like confused what I was doing. But if you love seafood, Aruba is the place to eat it because everything is fresh on the island. Entering this first club experience of the trip, this is where I was like, what is life? We all know how TikTok literally listens to you. My TikTok knew I was going to Aruba, okay? In the airport waiting to get my flights, I got a TikTok of this girl and she's like, come with me to work my shift at Gusto nightclub in Aruba. Come with me to move to Aruba to work as a bartender. I walk in, there she is right at the counter. Of course I order a drink. I say, I know you from TikTok. I don't know if it's like people on vacation feel Boulder or if it's just like people who travel more in general of Boulder, but like people aren't afraid to come up and talk to you, which I love. I'm good. I met a man named actually bleep that out. Really fun guy. We were dancing the night away. Poor babe left. And then I got invited into VIP from this guy named got a lot of free drinks out of that. VIP man also DM'd me like a day later. Apparently he promised to take me to see baby goats.
I politely declined.
Day 2. This was our first excursion of the trip. It's about 4.5 hour snorkeling tour, open bar. This was my first ever time snorkeling and I was kind of nervous. I'm not really scared of like sea life. I get freaked out when I look like down in deep water.
Thalassophobia is an intense phobia or fear of large or deep water. If you have thalassophobia, you're fucked.
They took us to 2 snorkeling locations where you could get in the water. The first one was a shipwreck. Scary. Looking down at like the fucking Titanic under you. They were telling us history and I think honestly half the boat was too drunk to even listen. Yeah, we would like dock for like an hour at a spot. The second location was like more of a reef. I was really hoping to see like a sea turtle. Then after that, I was actually famished. Once again, got seafood, got some fish tacos. Never once in my life, never once. Let me tell you, have I craved a fish taco until I stepped foot on this godforsaken island. Okay, they were fire. Day 3, we did not have an excursion. We went to a new beach instead of Palm Beach. This one's called Eagle Beach. It's kind of farther south. The first day at Palm Beach, still water, like absolutely no movement at all. This beach was more wavy, which honestly was kind of fun. That's kind of what I'm used to, like when I go to Florida or the beaches here in Wisconsin. Since the island is so flat, like rain clouds just pass over it super fast. So when it does rain, it's like you can count on it being maybe 20 minutes and then it's over.
I'm going on a Jeep tour today. I'm really excited. They're taking us to like a national park, a ton of like natural pools and stuff. So just getting some sun before. It's gonna be long. It's like 5 hours. So this shit feels like a White Lotus episode.
If y'all watch White Lotus and know how like each character is just so different and has their own plot line, like we get onto our designated Jeep. There's 8 seats minus 1 because one of our girls couldn't go. Literally a White Lotus episode. Okay, I'm gonna break this down for you. Sitting across from me, honeymoon, husband and wife. Out of this wife's bag that says like newlyweds, she's pulling out her vape and ripping it like every like 10 or 15 minutes. Family fun over here. We have a mom, a dad, a daughter. Then we got Z and I. Then we meet our tour guide. His name is Louis. Oh my gosh, is he a darling. Like curliest white teeth I've ever seen in my life. He calls us family. He's like, what's up family? Kind of giving, what's up Ace family? Y'all have seen Victorious. There's an episode where Trina gets her feet dipped into a puka fish tank to make them smooth. I literally did that.
We're good to go.
Not to be weird, but like that's what I imagine like getting your toes sucked feeling like. It was just the weirdest feeling ever. Part of this excursion was that they take you to like a snorkeling location. This snorkeling location was the roughest water I have ever swam in my life. Basically, to get like the water where you can see most of the fish, you have to go through a coral. I was literally being like pushed onto the coral from the waves. The newlyweds did not go in the water. So it's me and this family. Louis was watching from the beach with a lifeguard floaty on. He joked, he was like, yeah, I'm trained in lifeguarding. Let's just say half of this family was damn near about to be the reason. I'm a strong swimmer. I was having a hard time like cutting through this reef. This like 14-year-old girl, this 14-year-old daughter, like screaming for her parents to help her. It's another like hour drive through the national park to get back to where this Jeep tour loads people. And I are kind of like farther up in the Jeep. First aboard, last to get off. And Louis goes, now hold on. Where are y'all staying? And I was like, oh, just an Airbnb. Louis goes,
I'll take y'all back.
Now, in retrospect, was this a bad idea? Probably. But he knew, we did tell him we were taxiing home and he did not want us to have to pay for that. So, Louis, if you're watching this, like, when I think of this trip, I do think of you and your pearly white teeth, so.
Hey babe, can you play that song?
Day 5, our excursion was tubing. If you live in the Midwest, Wisconsin specifically, lake tubing is like a huge deal. I have done it once and my Apple Watch did ping that I got into a car accident, called 911. So I was a little nervous about doing this. Like that is what I picture waterboarding to feel like. I was literally like, salt water was slamming me in the face faster than I could blink or take a deep breath, so.
Orgenstad. Orgenstad.
Orgenstad. We went to downtown Orgenstad. Bougier shops than Nord. Downtown Orgenstad, but it's more of your rodeo drive. I got a new wallet. Give a girl some support on Instagram. Why don't ya? Why don't ya? You can see my Aruba post. Anyways.
That's right. You and mama really come real tight. That's family things I wanna buy you.
Day 6. Whoo! We did a sea bob snorkeling tour. I don't even say snorkeling, sea bob diving maybe? Because we didn't even have the snorkel piece. This was the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. It was a private tour, so it was just Z and I, and then the tour guide, who did end up asking Z on a date after the tour. This was like the farthest from land I've ever been, not on a boat. And then all of a sudden you look up and you're, I don't even know how far from shore. We got to see the shipwreck again. They also go hella fast. Don't buy a motorcycle if you're looking for a thrill. Buy a sea bob. Z and I decided to end the night with margs and tacos. I got bang bang shrimp tacos. One marg turned into karaoke bar. Turned into beach bar, turned into walking on the beach with some new friends, turned into getting home at 3 in the morning. I was a little nervous about the Aruba airport. I've seen so many things, people having to wait, missing flights. If you have any questions about Aruba, ask them in the comments because I'm more than happy to share more of my experience. But